from a boss lady behind Fiber and Fox. So I'm officially Fiber and Fox now, guys. If you're new here and you don't know what's going on, or you're confused, I was operating under Bella's Custom Crochets for the last about 3 years or so. So I'm now the artist formerly known as Bella's Custom Crochets, and in the last week I have rebranded the whole thing as Fiber and Fox. So all the links as far as where you can find me are down below. I've updated even all the old YouTube videos. With the new social media, I'm now fiber.and.fox on Instagram, and basically fiber and, written out, and fox everywhere else. But if you need links, they're down below. And yeah, slowly but surely, I've been changing everything over, and all in all, I think it's gone well. We'll talk about rebrand in a second, but if you're new, thank you for joining me. I am Bella, like I said. I'm a crochet designer, and I do a little bit of knitting, and yeah, hang out with you guys on the internet and talk about all of it. So thank you for joining, and if you've come back and if you've just put up with me through this whole process of rebranding and switching everything over on you, I'm excited, guys. I'm sorry. It's been like a month since I've podcasted. I'm just really glad that you're still here. So thank you. I do want to talk about the rebrand a little bit, but I want to let you know at the end of the video there's going to be a giveaway that's like a culmination of hitting 2K. We're over 2K now. Super exciting. 2K, new pattern launch, and the rebrand. So I have a little giveaway at the end, so stay tuned for that. But this is normally where I do the admin section. So admin-wise, yeah, I rebranded everything. I would like to reiterate, if you have a business of any kind, crochet or otherwise, pick yourself a name from the get-go that you're going to stay with, because rebranding, changing your name, and having not everyone on the internet be confused is a whole thing. It's the whole thing. Don't recommend. Like 2 out of 10 recommend. So yeah, I did this to myself. I'm very glad that we rebranded, very glad that I'm now operating under a business name that I feel like really encompasses me and my business more so than what I was doing before. But it's not easy to switch everything over, especially when I had a pretty decent online presence for the last like 3 years. You get a lot of links in a lot of places. So I've been like changing over links basically nonstop for the last several weeks. And overall, I think the rebrand went pretty smooth. If you guys see anything funky anywhere, or if you run into like a dead link or something's weird on like the website or anything, please let me know. Because we're trying to make it all cohesive, but like I said, there's a lot of links on a lot of places, and my husband's been working super hard on the website. And when we did the initial like relaunch, we had some issues with stuff rerouting. The old BCC links were all supposed to just smoothly reroute, and instead it like gave you security alerts and had all sorts of issues. So that was fun. My blog views dropped down to like 4 a day. So that's cool. That's better now. But it's been a whole strand of, oh, we didn't see that coming stuff that we're trying to stay on top of. And I've been on the phone with my bank for like hours at this point now. They were supposed to just be changing over my business bank account. It's like there was this whole thing about the employee who was supposed to do it was out that day, so then somebody else did it, and I think he did it wrong. Yeah, I was waiting on a debit card and checks to be able to do some like login stuff and like get my online banking back up and going, and I got a debit card today that says Fiber and Fox. Okay, that's good. And then I got checks that say Fire and Fox. That's not a thing. So yeah, we're still sorting that out. But overall, I think things have gone really well. And like I said, if you see anything funky, please do let me know. I'm not going to be offended. We're trying to make this as tidy and cohesive. I've been updating everything in Ravelry and Etsy slowly. So just reformatting old patterns. For the most part, nothing's changed really content-wise, other than maybe like a slight add a period somewhere, or you're missing a comma kind of thing. But if you've bought patterns from me before on Rav, you should get updates when I put a new update in, but Etsy doesn't have that option. So if you've purchased from me on Etsy before, shoot me an email with your order number and I can send you the reformatted, just like it's all the same text and the new brand and logo and contact information and all of that. But yeah, I would love for you to have the up-to-date copy. So if you haven't gotten one, let me know. I think that's everything I wanted to say rebrand-wise. When you're watching this, it's March. I'm recording on like March 29th now, so I think if you're watching it, whatever Good Friday is. First Friday in April. Easter weekend is coming up, so I hope you guys have a lovely time planned either with family or at home or however it's going to work for you best this year, that you celebrate well. I hope your Easter is really blessed, and yeah. So that's the admin stuff. I'll talk about the giveaway at the end, so stay tuned for that. First up, I usually go through new designs or design talk. So I think since last time I podcasted, it's been honestly like a month. So the Hope in a Future wrap is now out. Insert photo somewhere. Hope in a Future wrap is available. You can get, the pattern has been updated already. So pattern and Etsy and Ravelry is all current with the new branding. So if you buy it, you're not going to need to update. It's going to be perfect. I believe Megs & Co. still has kits at the time that I'm filming this if you want to get the original colors. And yeah, that came out March 12th. And then I rebranded the next week. And then the week after that, I launched the Dandelion Drops. Am I pointing in the right spot? I never am. That back there. That's a fingering weight version, but it's a worsted weight pattern. And you guys have really been loving that. People have already tagged me in finished versions. There's a rainbow one that happened and it's glorious. So check out the hashtag Dandelion Drops for more inspiration there. But that pattern is also current in the Etsy and Rav. And one of the goals for 2021 is to get a shop on my website. But first we wanted to get the rebranded website up there and we're going to work on the shop next. So hopefully in the fall you'll have an option other than Etsy and Ravelry because I got problems with both. So yes, that'll be coming. But those are the two designs I launched in March and I relaunched my business. It has been a month, a whole month, guys. So I wanted to share those with you. There's probably going to be a bit of, not a hiatus, but like a lull in the designing for a little bit, just because I really want to focus on getting this whole rebrand thing tip-top shape. And I need to go back and like reformat or redo all of my old blog posts, like Pinterest images, because they all say bellascustomcrochets.com on the bottom. So I want to go reformat them so they say fiber and fox, so it doesn't look like I stole somebody's blog post. Like when it shows up on Pinterest, I want to make sure the domain and the image match, because Pinterest is picky about stuff like that. So I have to go back and redo all of those. I am relaunching my mailing list. Current one is linked down below. I'm relaunching on a new platform just because I don't like MailChimp. It's what I've been currently using, and it's what? This is supposed to be the design section. I don't know what I'm talking about here, but and there's something else that I'm doing. Linktree. Linktree's been weird and hasn't let me change the Bella's Custom Crochets label off of it. So that's where like the link in my bio and Instagram goes to, and it still says BCC and it just doesn't seem to let you change that. So I'm going to be switching over that platform as well. So I have a whole bunch of like behind the scenes unfun formatting and linking and bleh stuff to do. I mean, it's not blah, but it's not like the fun I get to design and play with yarn stuff. So there's going to be limited crochet designing happening and more behind the scenes stuff. But this, is hopefully going to get written up in either April, hopefully April, maybe May. I'm not rushing this one, but I did get the edging on. This is going to be my rainbow shawl. It's a fingering weight, one solid color, and then mini skeins in there with it. I talked about this in the last episode, I believe. And then, woohoo, there's rainbow on the edge. I ended up going with that textured edging. I was going back and forth. I'm still not 100%. I still might take it off and do regular edging, but I need to do the lacy bit that I'm planning on doing on the edge here and see how they go together. But this is, other than the lacy bit, this is finished. And I have like my draft notes, so I just need to write up the pattern and then get it into testing, hopefully end of April, maybe May. But it's, yeah, there's not going to be a ton of design stuff coming out. I do have some sweater quantities of yarn that I want to be doing sweaters for the fall in, but I need to get all of this fiber and fox stuff in order. So, ooh, I'm caught up here. So yeah, hopefully upcoming podcast episodes, I usually do every 2 weeks. There's going to be content, but it might not be the content that makes me look like I'm a crochet designer that knows what I'm doing. Just know I'm doing stuff behind the scenes, guys. All the links in all of the places. All of the time. This is my life now. It's okay. I'm really happy we rebranded. Really, I am. Oh, and designs, in case you're wondering, this is the Title Fades DK. I have a worsted weight version as well. You can't really see the fade as well here. It's not picking up on the camera, but it's a 3-color DK weight shawl. This is in Lane and Lotus yarn, and yeah, it's perfect for spring. It's awesome if you want to kind of, like this section fades real good. So good you can't even see it on camera. Yeah, there you go. But really good to fade colors together or do really contrasty colors if you don't want to fade. It's got actually the same edging as the rainbow shawl, and it's got tassels, beaded tassels. I don't have a pattern drop video for this one because this was before I started doing YouTube, but there is a blog post if you search title fades on my blog. It should take you to a blog post about it, and it's available in my Etsy and Ravelry shops. So that's a little design talk I got for you this time. Let's do finished objects. Okay, so in between all of the pattern launching and rebranding, I have been doing some more selfish crochet projects. I wanted to do either sweaters or tops for both my daughter and I for Easter. Not really going anywhere fancy, we're going to church and then staying home, but yeah, I still like the idea of having a fun Easter outfit, so I have been working on a sweater for my daughter, a cardigan for my daughter, and a short sleeve tee sweater thing for me. So I want to share those with you. Not my designs, but this is a modified version of a pattern that I have made many, many times. It is just called the Lace Cardigan, and it is by Mon Petit Violon. I believe that is my best French pronunciation. She has the most beautiful little girl, toddler, some of them go up to child sizes, and I think she actually has some adult size patterns, but definitely heavy on like the baby patterns. And I made this cardigan, or some version thereof, for my daughter, I think before she was even born, and I've made a bunch of gifts since. And she may have even had a second one. I don't remember, but yeah. She has a little yellow Easter dress with like a tulle tutu, and I thought this would be really pretty. So the pattern I followed mostly, sort of, kind of. I've done it so many times now that I kind of loosely follow the pattern, but it's a pretty simple one if you want to modify something. But basically, it's written for DK, I think. Worsted? No, I'm pretty sure it's DK. But I wanted to do fingering weight. My daughter is 2, but leans towards like a size 3-4. So if I was doing DK, that's the size I would have done. But I'm doing fingering weight, and I didn't want to hold it double. I wasn't sure I'd have enough yarn, so I wanted to do a fingering weight version. So I actually made the size 7-8 for my 2-year-old daughter. And it worked out in fingering weight yarn. So I followed the stitch count for 7-8. It starts with like this lacy yoke top. And then you go into like this almost, I think it's called like brick stitch maybe? I'm not sure. Slightly different lace bottom section. And it's the same on the sleeves. I modified this though. Hers, she does double crochets throughout here, and these are half double crochets. I just thought it was a little too gappy with the fingering weight yarn with double crochet. So I just swapped out half double crochets and just made it to whatever length that it was that I wanted it. Same stitch count, just made it longer. So I kind of stopped following the pattern at that point. I think I mostly followed sort of kind of for the buttonholes. I think I made my button band larger than what she does. I think she just has like one row along the edge. So I made kind of an additionally larger button band. Because again, with the fingering weight yarn, I kind of felt like it needed some structure. Definitely added like a collar that wasn't in the pattern. I brought the sleeves in a tiniest little bit, just decreased a tiny bit, because otherwise they're kind of just straight. There's no decreases on the sleeves, so they're just straight, like square, rectangular, whatever. So I just brought it in a tiny bit and then did like a picot edging. And then the lace on the bottom I pulled out of I think it's 500 crochet stitches. I'll link it if I can remember, but one of my crochet stitch Bibles. It's not currently behind me because it's on my kitchen table. But yeah, added this lace on the bottom, and I think that really makes it super, super cute. And it fits her really well, and hopefully will fit into next year. And yeah, I love cardigans because I feel like you get a lot of wear out of them. And if it gets, I've said this before a lot of times, but I like making cardigans for her because if it gets like too short in the sleeves or too short in the body, it's a crop cardigan and you just keep wearing it, because I feel like kids get taller before they get wider. So she wore the like newborn size one until probably almost a year as like a crop little cardi. So really sweet. Buttons were just something I had in stash. Button stash? Yeah. Stash of buttons. The yarn that I used is from a local dyer. I don't think she has this base anymore because I got it in a, like clearing out that base sale. But Sassy Black Yarns. Is that showing up at all? There we go. Sassy Black Yarns. She's a Connecticut dyer, and this is her 60% organic cotton, 40% linen base, fingering weight. And the color is Melted Snow Cone. I really like a cotton linen blend for summer stuff. And this, I don't know what happened to the second skein. I feel like it may have fallen out at like my mom's house or something, because I was alternating 2 skeins. I did the yoke in one skein, And I don't know if you can even tell, I alternated every little brick row. So there's like a row of chains and then a row of little half double crochets. So every like 2 rows on the body, only because there was one skein that had like little pops of, I don't know if you can see. Is that showing up at all? Little, not really. I guess it's more subtle than I thought, but little like flecks or deeper parts where there was more purple in the skein, and I was worried that it would show up. Yeah, I don't know if you can see like right there. You totally can't. You totally can't see it. But there was like a dark lavender purple that was like showing up in one skein that wasn't really in the other. And I was just worried if I didn't alternate, it would be like color blocked. So alternated, just carried the yarn up the side. And then when I added the edging, I just crocheted over those floats and it all worked out fine. But yeah, I really, Lakeisha's yarn is really awesome and really colorful. She has some really great brights and more like, I guess, variegated long color strands, color options, not as many solids, but I really like this. And I've done did the Beachcomb Tee by Tiffany Lynn in a purple cotton linen base that she had. So I really like the cotton linen, but I think she wants to do the superwash stuff now. So check her out either way, but I really like this base and I think it makes for a really sweet springtime cardi. So that's the lace cardigan, really easy to modify. And I think 7/8 might be the largest size. I don't know if there's like a 9/10, but it goes from newborn up until at least 7 or 8 years in the DK weight. So definitely you can make versions for lots of the littles. I realize now that on screen you can see this mess of a white bin of extra stuff. Normally I have this nice basket, but I needed more space. There's a bin and it doesn't look very pretty, but it's okay. So for my Easter top, I did some knitting because I needed a break from the crocheting with the patterns and all the fiber and fox stuff. I needed some, I hate to call it selfish knitting, I needed some self-care knitting. So I made, I believe it is pronounced Tenya. I've heard Tegna, I don't think that's right, Tenya, by Caitlin Hunter, Boylan Knitworks. I made a knitted, guys, I made a crop. It's not super cropped, but I recently, I turned 30 last month, and I don't know if it's like a third of your life crisis, but I finally caved in and bought high-waisted jeans, and they're amazing. So I take back everything I said about high-waisted jeans, people. So now I feel like I can crop things in a adult-like manner. So yeah, I made it almost sort of kind of cropped. Look at this! Oh my goodness! It's so beautiful. It's my first time I've knit lace, and look how beautiful it is. I'm so proud. So proud. So this is the Tenya by Boylan Knitworks. Like I said, it was very popular, I think 2-3 years ago it came out, so I'm a little late to the game on that one. But it's one that I've seen lots of. And in my stash, I had some fiber for the people that I got fairly recently. Beginning of the year, maybe. I have been waiting for Taylor to do an update with this color Seagull. It's like a beautiful grello. Heavier on the gray than the yellow, but it's got like some green yellow, some orangey yellow, some hair that's mine. And yeah, I had wanted to do an entire sweater and considered crocheting in it, but I think because of the long color strands, it would have pooled kind of funky in crochet for a garment. I could definitely do a shawl, but I'm not sure if I would want a crocheted garment in it. So I had bought just a couple skeins last time she did an update, and you can see they're slightly different. Same dye lot, but slightly different. Alternate skeins, people. I bought a couple skeins the last update that she had it in. I have a ball band somewhere, yes. Fiber for the people. You have heard me sing the praises of Taylor Earl. Colorway Seagull, and this one is on her 85-15 Superwash Merino and nylon base and 2-ply. That's very, very glary. It's the Colorway Seagull. And I've had my eye on it for such a long time, and I wanted to buy just a couple skeins before I full sweater quantity'd it, and I'm glad that I did, because I don't know that I would actually want a full sweater in this. It's gorgeous, and I love it, but I think I've learned that I'm much more of a like tonal yarn person, or semi-solid, than I am a like color variation kind of person. I can handle a speckle. And I've definitely done some wild colored sweaters, but something about like this, whatever this is called, variegated, I don't know if I love that as much. It's totally beautiful in a short sleeve, but in like an oversized, I don't know. I don't think I'd wear it in a whole sweater. And it was a major pain to alternate and make it look even, because you start at the bottom, the lace work I did, where did you go? There you are. In the color leather. And I also have a tag for this somewhere. Nope, that's also single, so it must be, nope, that's also Lakeisha's. Okay, yes, the colorway leather, which is actually this one behind me, but this skein, I don't know if you can see, was like a little greener. And I was iffy on whether it was going to blend with Seagull, and then it totally did, so color blending recommendation. And this is on her 100% New Zealand Polworth, I think, base. And it's fingering weight as well. So I'd had 2 skeins of this, but they were 2 totally different dye lots. That one, totally different. So I didn't want to put those 2 together. And according to I did gauge swatch. According to the sizing and stuff on the pattern, it said I could get away with 2 skeins, but I was kind of worried about doing the lace in Seagull because I thought that this like color variegation yarn would not be great for lace work, and I think I made a good call. So this is the lace in leather. So beautiful. I'm so proud of this. There's definitely a bunch of spots that I messed up. I had all my stitch markers in for like the lace repeats, and that's super helpful. If you haven't done lace before, she recommends that in the pattern. I had the stitch repeats in, and there'd be times where I had like an extra stitch or not enough stitches, and I totally just did like a make one or a knit 2 together. So there's definitely some flaws in here, but I think overall it reads beautifully as like, it's got like a cathedral type feel to it. It's gorgeous, and I love that like scalloped bottom. It's fully written as well as charted. I didn't even look at the chart. The chart completely overwhelmed me. So I just did the written instructions, and having never knit lace before, I think it came out pretty good. I should have probably started with like a lace shawl or some lace socks rather than a garment, but it was only the bottom. So you start from the bottom, you work up. Usually not a fan of bottom up, if it can be avoided, because it's really hard to tell, especially with the cropped. I was really nervous about, as you start at the bottom, then you work up to like the armholes and split, and I was really worried it was going to be too cropped. I was like, it's superwash, I can finagle it a little bit, and I'm actually really happy with the length. The lace bit starts before my pants, so I'm going to definitely wear a shirt underneath as a matter of preference, just so you don't have like a band of belly right here. But overall, it goes down over my pants and is scarcely a crop top. So then you switched to working in the round, and I was alternating the 2 skeins. It's the first time I did helical knitting. I don't have a tutorial for this because I don't do knit tutorials at this time. But I know Nitty Natty has a really good one that I looked at, and a bunch of others as well. If you look up helical knitting or helix knitting, super simple. So I was alternating the 2 skeins. It was going flawlessly, really beautifully. No color pooling, and blending the darker and lighter skein together really nicely. And then I got to where you split for the sleeves, or split for the front and the back. The front, I did a really good job on. The back, I don't know if you can tell, I stopped alternating because I didn't really want to alternate skeins. No, what I tried to do is I continued to try alternating every 2 rows, I think. So yeah, I'd knit and then purl back and then switch colors. And it was creating some really funky color pooling. I don't know if I can find the spot. Like over here, it started getting weird. And it wasn't matching like the bottom part. I wasn't blending together. It was more like striping. So I stopped doing that, and then I just did the lighter color skein on the back because I was like, I have really long hair. No one's going to really see this part. And then on the front, I ended up alternating. I was pulling from the inside and the outside of the darker skein, and then the outside of the lighter skein, and somehow alternating all 3. And it kind of mostly blends together. I think it's definitely different, and you can see the sleeves are definitely a different color patterning. But I think it overall reads similar. But the issue with like variegated yarn like that is you definitely can get pooling, and if you like switch the stitch count that you're on, the pooling is going to change. So even if you had like a good, okay, you're okay with it in the round, then you split it in half, then you got like lightning strike pooling, and the sleeves would have been like really chunky pooling. So I was alternating on the sleeves as well, and I think I did a pretty good job, I think. Overall, when I put it on, I've taken pictures and videos, and I think it looks pretty good. I'm impressed. So then I did the collar in leather as well. The collar in the pattern, I believe, is like a rolled garter. It might just be a stockinette collar. Either way, it's not a ribbed collar. So I added the ribbing because I do not like anything but ribbed collar. And then actually I think I made my ribbing a little bit too big, so I ended up crocheting in the same millimeter size around the top edge. I do that on a lot of sweaters because I feel like it stretches out. I considered doing a rolled neckline, but I thought that was a little much for a spring top. So the the single crochet around the top edge keeps it from growing too much. And this one definitely has a little bit of a wider neckline where you can like see bra straps in a lot of the pictures if you look on Ravelry, and I don't like that. So I just pulled it in a little bit with the ribbing and the single crochet. I haven't sewed in this end yet, but I sewed in all my other ends, and yeah, it's ready for Easter. So not really any big occasion or any big parties to go to. Do people do Easter parties? I don't know. We used to have huge family gatherings. We both have very large families. But yeah, itty bitty. And yeah, I'm gonna look Easter fabulous. These are not Easter colors, but it makes me really happy. And I'm very impressed that I executed this pattern at all, because I was iffy on whether I could handle that lace, but in a month where I had a lot going on. And I think it was like a 48 row lace section, and none of the rows were like a repeat. They were all different. So that was fun to keep track of. Just make sure you check off row by row. But overall, I think I did okay. So I'm very proud of my finished Tenya. I never really know where to put half-finished socks. Is it a whip? Is it a finished object? I don't know. This is the finished sock section. I finished one of my, I believe I was calling them the kettle corn socks in the last episode. It is a made-up pattern. I'm sure there is something similar out there. But basically what I'm doing is I cast on 64 stitches, did 2x2 rib, and then I'm doing 4 rows of knit 2, purl 2 ribbing. Then I'm doing 1 row of stockinette, just knitting, and then switching, so knit 2, purl 2, and then purl 2, knit 2, so you can see it like jumps over and makes like a kind of checkerboard thing. And that row of stockinette splits it up nicely, and they fit really well. And yeah, these are just some scraps that I had left over. Again, it's Lane and Lotus. The color vibes. I don't think I have the tag still, but this cream color is, I know, dangerous for socks, but I think I'll baby these ones. I didn't have enough to really make anything else out of it. So I had some left over from my poof sweater. So this is Meteor Shower by Lane and Lotus, and then this is Salted Caramel, which I've worked into like 3 pairs of socks now, so that was a good use of that skein. Salted Caramel by Lane and Lotus, and they're both on her high twist base. And this is a fox peeking out. It's a fiber fox, not a fire fox, a fiber fox. But yeah, I think these are really cute. I'm just into the cuff, or the leg on the second one. Almost poked my eye out. And yeah, I think I'm gonna have enough yarn. I didn't really weigh religiously. I think I started with about 55 grams left over. So I think I can get to the end. Same with this. I had like 25-ish or 22-ish or something, so I should be able to get through, but then I kind of made a longer heel flap and gusset. So the second one might have like a totally different color toe or another stripe of some other Lane and Lotus color in there, but whatever, they're socks. It'll be fine. I'm not worried about it. So that's the only thing I have as far as whips, because like I said, my brain has been in copy and paste link land. It's a happy land, y'all. So much copying and pasting. I don't always have an acquiring section, but I have an acquiring section today. I've acquired a sweater's quantity. I don't need a sweater's quantity right now, but this is a belated birthday present. And yes, I'm going to make a black sweater, guys. I'm going to crochet a black fingering weight sweater. Am I crazy? Probably. It's probably crazy. This is definitely going to be towards the fall, probably into the winter, so you're not going to see it for a while as I throw all of my beautiful black skeins. But I got it in my head that I want to make I think something that's going to be pretty basic crochet, like a staple wardrobe piece. I'm thinking I actually want it to be kind of fitted. I'm normally not. You guys know I like those boxy. I'm buying high-waisted pants now. I'm making crop tops. I don't know who I am anymore. Yeah, 30. It changes you people. But yes, this is going to be a sweater. So it's going to be sitting on the shelf behind me for a little bit. I don't like to have a ton of stash, you know that, but had the opportunity to get some for my birthday, so I did. Yeah, so this is by the Crochet Cove. And it is on her easy fingering base, which makes me uncomfortable to say, but that's that. And it's the colorway Smoky Black, 75 superwash, 25% nylon, 415 yards. And Nia dyes these. I don't actually know if her shop has some ready to ship, but this was like a sweater quantity custom order. So it took a couple weeks to come. But like I said, I'm not making it for months, so that's fine. But I do want to recommend that you go check out Nia's yarn if you're looking for, I mean, the business name is Crochet Cove, so you know she's a crocheter, but she does really great, a lot like Treasure Goddess, that I did the Anuk pullover in, really great like semi-solid tonal colors. So there's just like a little bit of variation in there, but it's not going to be something that color pools like that, like the Tenya. So you're not going to run into that. You still always alternate skeins when making garments. That is the rule. Break it if you will, but that's the rule. But yeah, it's really great for crocheting because you're not going to get any funky color pops and blobs. So I think this is the kind of yarn that I like making garments with, if we're being honest. I think I just really like a semi-solid tonal kind of situation. So this is going to be a design way in the future. So forget I said anything about it and you'll see it in a little bit. I promised there'd be a giveaway. So this is a combination. I was going to do a 2K giveaway. We're now a couple hundred over 2K, but whatever. This is the 2K / rebrand / dandelion drops giveaway. So here's what you're going to need to know to enter the giveaway. Leave me a comment down below this video. Make sure you're liked and subscribed. You want to turn on notifications. You get brownie points for that. But I would appreciate that. But make sure you're subscribed to this channel, like this video, leave me a comment. Ooh, I didn't think of a prompt. Okay, prompt is if you work with indie dyed yarns at all. If you haven't, I encourage you to try it if it's all within your budget. I love supporting indie dyers, but leave me a comment of your favorite indie dyer, specifically if it's someone that you like to crochet with their yarn, because I'm working on another little side project of crochet friendly indie dyers. So leave me a comment down below, and if you've never tried indie dyed yarn, leave me a comment about something, whatever. All comments are going to count. So leave a comment down below, but I'd love to know if you have indie dyers that are really great for crocheting with. So what you're going to get with the giveaway, I'm giving away these 2 skeins. Hanks, balls, donuts, I don't know what they are. 2 little orbs of Wool Attic Sunshine in the colorway Yellow 50, which is discontinued. This is I'm not sure if it's Pima cotton or just cotton, but it is a chainette ply cotton yarn, worsted weight, and it's what I used to make the dandelion drops wall hanging. The original one is back upstairs with the hair bows on it. But you can jump back to the pattern drop video if you want to see all of that. This was like a cat paw swipe. What was that, Bella? If you want to see the original yellow one in this yarn, this is enough to make the wall hanging as I have made it. So you're going to get those 2 skeins. You're going to get a copy of the Dandelion Drops wall hanging pattern. Not new and improved. It was only ever released as Fiber and Fox, but with the whole new Fiber and Fox branding and all of that. And it's a really great, I'm going to send you over to the pattern drop to get the info, but it's a really great, easy to customize. If you look at the hashtag Dandelion Drops, you're going to see a lot of chinchillas because apparently dandelion drops are a thing you feed to chinchillas. It's like an herbal tincture. I don't know. Somebody was like, oh yeah, chinchillas love those. Like, why is there all these chinchillas in my hashtag? But yeah, you get to see cute chinchillas. I'm having a hard time saying that. But also all the inspiration for other people who have made the pattern in, we now have different weight yarns. We've got stripes, we got gradients, we got color blocks, we got beads in there. It's so inspiring. And the Ravelry projects too, if you're someone who's still using Ravelry. A lot of inspiration there. You can make it in any yarn, any combination of yarns, and yeah, I mean, I'm going to recommend you use these because I think this yellow is just shiny and beautiful and perfect for dandelion stitch, but you totally don't have to. But you're going to get a copy of the pattern emailed to you or sent to your Ravelry account. It's not going to be a printed version. You can print it off how you like if that's what you do, but I will send you the PDF. You will get 2 yarns sent to you in the mail, and then you're also going to get these 2 stickers from my very favorite Block 21 Prints. You probably can't see that, but she is a local lino cut artist. She carves linoleum, makes stamps, prints it on bags and t-shirts and whatnot, and then uploads the carvings and makes stickers and other awesome things out of them. So I thought these 2 went well with the dandelion motif. So the sunflower one has a little tiny bumblebee and a dragonfly, an ant, and it says, "Go forth with a graceful and generous spirit." And it's got a sunflower. It's growing. And then this one's got, they're not really dandelions. They're probably daisies, but we can pretend that they're dandelions. And it says Love Heals. So you're going to get those two. It's in the cover photo. You saw it. Those two, the two yellow skeins, and then a copy of the dandelion drops wall hanging pattern. So leave me a comment down below. It's going to be open to, I'm going to say US only. If you're not in the US and you want to leave me a comment, go for it. But just know that shipping we might have to talk about. If stuff gets really wild, you may have to cover the shipping if you're outside of the US. But yes. Thank you for getting me to 2K. Thank you for sticking out this whole rebrand situation, and just thank you for being here. I appreciate you guys so much. The battery dying symbol is flashing at me, so I'm going to wrap this up. I feel like I talked really fast this whole episode, but I am just so excited to be back with you guys, so excited to be Fiber and Fox, and just, yeah, so excited to be here in general. Thank you for being part of my little Fiber family, and for supporting me through this journey, because it's been a fun one. I appreciate you guys. Give me a comment down below for the giveaway, and I will talk to you soon in the next episode. Thank you guys. Happy making. See you soon. Bye.